All right. The global market and the panic that ensued obviously is affecting sentiment out there. People are getting a little bit anxious. Sometimes that interprets into slow Christmas sales, holiday sales. Should we be worried about the spillover effect? The best-selling author of Den of Thieves, James Stewart, is among those saying Republicans should not worry too much because it's not going to bother them on the downside, just as it really wasn't going to help them to run up on the upside. Is he right about that? Fox News contributor Gary Kaltbaum and Center for Freedom and Prosperity Chairman Dan Mitchell. Dan, what do you make of that argument that we overstate, especially in a midterm election, the impact of what's going on now in the markets, up or down?
We overstate it if it turns out that it's just a short-term dip. And 2 weeks from now, we find out that it was a non-story. But we don't know. Maybe the stock market will drop another 10%. Maybe it'll affect the economy in the Christmas shopping season. Maybe it'll affect the midterms because people will have an adverse wealth effect. They'll look at their balance sheets and say, oh, the market's down. I'm not as rich as I thought I was. But since I can't predict the economy, I'm not going to say. All I can do is talk about the potential implications. Is Trump's protectionism threatening us? Is the fact that government spending is continuing to climb too fast, is that affecting us? Those are things we should worry about.
Gary, how much are you watching the close today?
I watch every minute of the day, Neil, and especially now. Look, you have conditions. I call them don't blink conditions because this market's moving 200-300 points. But after a big drop and you get oversold and you're up 400 and change, if you finish down badly today, you have to worry about what could potentially happen. I'm not predicting anything, but what can potentially happen, especially with the fact that Europe was up today and finished down for the day. Small and mid caps are still down today. Even I see we're rallying a little bit. So there's some issues that most definitely have to be watched.
You know, when you say that, any safe havens for you right now, Gary, or no?
Cash.
Wow.
I'm in cash. I'm in cash right now, and that's only because. And
describe cash to me. A lot of people want to know when he says cash. Does he just stuff it under his mattress, the real stuff? What are you doing?
2.5% money markets at this point in time.
That's what I thought.
Look, right. you're in market conditions where the complexion has changed, and you know I write about this and I talk about this. We just didn't top out 4 days ago. 2 weeks ago, you had Ford and GM and International Paper and Whirlpool and so many names already at new yearly lows. You've had markets across the globe at new yearly lows. We're just playing some catch up here, and that's the big worry. You know, when I see all these other things going on, I always ask the question, what's the market seeing? Because the market is a pretty good forecaster. My hope is this is going to be more like February, where we had a big downdraft and then it took a few months to repair it and then everything was A-OK. This one feels different though, Neil, because today financials, they come out with supposedly good earnings. They're selling off JP Morgan. PNC Bank is crashing, and financials is a very important sector to my work. So again, I got a very close microscope on this one.
You know, Dan, the president says, and he's right. I mean, the conditions, the fundamentals with the economy, all that is fine, all that well and good. Ronald Reagan said much the same after the '87 crash. But bull markets don't die of fundamentals deteriorating. They die of aberrant events normally. Are there any aberrant events out there that you're watching or that you think that could be a problem? Let's say the trade problem. What?
I think protectionism obviously is a threat to the economy and to the market. But let's actually back up and look at another issue, which is bubbles, easy money, lots of debt. I think that's threatening both China and the United States. And there's an important lesson here. Whenever the economy is weak, people say, oh, the Fed needs to artificially lower interest rates. The Fed needs to pump money into the economy. And when you're in that stage, it feels good. It's like, OK, let's inject some heroin. We'll feel good for a while. Sooner or later, that stuff catches up with you. I don't like easy money, not because I don't like the nice feeling when it first happens. I don't like easy money because sooner or later, you wind up with a volatile, fragile financial market because people don't know what's a fundamental and what's simply a propped-up asset price because of too much liquidity sloshing around. So we should learn a lesson. And by the way, I don't think Trump is learning that lesson because he's criticizing the Fed. He wants them to keep artificially low interest rates, I guess, forever.
Gary?
Dan is brilliant. He's 1,000% right. My biggest worry this week is what the president did with the central bank head in basically competing with him on thought. I think it is a huge mistake, arguably the #1 money man in the world. To say that he's crazy, I think is a huge mistake. The fact that we're at 2% interest rates and and the president is worried, that's still ridiculous easy money. You still have Europe and Japan negative rates and printing. I am in hopes he backs away. And again, my big worry is in the next 6 months, what is the market telling us right here? I'm in hopes it finds a low, gets going again. But there are just so many industries at new yearly lows right now that I think probably we're going to see a top in economic growth here in the next couple of months.
We will watch, gentlemen. Thank you both very, very much.
Thank you.